Hello there, it is Jo from Minerva. Hope you are well. Today we are going to do a sew along of the style Arc Robe, which is a kimono style robe which goes with the loungewear pants, the PJ top or the nighty camisole. So you can mix and match and make yourself the perfect sleepwear set. The sew along today comes as a kit form, so on our Minerva website, if you check out this video, you will see all the products listed below. There is piping, a contrast fabric for the neckband, main fabric, needles and thread. This is a style art pattern, which is an Australian indie pattern company, and I love their patterns. Sometimes they get a bad rap for having poor instructions, but actually they've just got very clear, concise instructions with very limited illustrations. So I thought today, rather than just doing a sew along like I normally do, where I chit chat and gabble along as I go, I am just going to read you the instructions from the pattern so that you can see, well, how limited are the instructions and can I follow them? So you will hear me read the instruction and you will see me complete the garment, so you can see that the instructions really are what I'm doing at the table. The fabric in this kit is the one that I'm wearing in a different pattern. So this is the Live blouse by Atelier Jupe, really beautiful boxy shaped blouse with an elasticated cuff and this beautiful ruffle collar. And fabric is a Viscose Challis and it's called Celestial Motion. It's perfect for loungewear, it's got that sort of nighttime mood about it. The background is an inky colour, it's not navy, it's not black, it's not blue, it's this sort of really, really deep purple indigo colour, and that's what I really loved about the fabric when I chose it. It's got a really nice drape, so you'll have a lighter robe. So this isn't the same as making a fleece robe or a waffle robe. This is more of a summer weight gown. And it's got quite a large print on it. I absolutely love it. I could make everything in it. And it's also paired in the kit with this rather beautiful stretch velvet. So in one direction it's stretchy, there you go, and in one direction it isn't, and you're going to use that to make the bit that goes around your neck, so it'll make a really nice contrast to this fabric, but it will also be really cozy to wear. You can use this around the cuffs, around the pocket top, and also around the neckline. Okay, let's get started with the cutting, which I will just whiz through on my table. If you're cutting viscose, it's a great idea to keep it all on the table so that it's not hanging off. If it's hanging off the table, when you cut it, the fabric will be under tension and it will ping back and you'll have smaller pattern pieces than you thought you were going to have. If you're cutting out on the carpet, you need to do quite a bit of smoothing so that the floor, so that you get all of the wrinkles out of the fabric. You can use a cutter, a rotary cutter, which gives quite a smooth cut, or you can use your scissors. Here is a style art pattern just to show you what it looks like. Inside you get the cutting diagrams for layouts, and then there are some instructions with pictures. So there's pockets illustrations, the tie, the front bodice and the sleeve bands. The instructions are written in sentences here. There's the body, the band, the sleeve and the pockets. The pattern is in the same paper attached to the same sheet and you cut them out. The pattern has a good size range. It goes from a size 4 to a size 30. That's a 97 centimetre bust up to 168 bust, but obviously you've got a lot of ease in a robe. The first section of the pattern is to make the body of the robe. Number 1. With right sides facing, sew the front and back shoulder seams together. Number 2. Sew the sleeves into the armhole. Number 3, to sew the belt loops, fold each side inward and sew a top stitch down the length of the loop. Stitch the loop to the side seam of the front body where marked on the pattern. With right sides facing, sew the front and back side seams together, start at the hemline, stitch up to the belt loops, ensuring that the belt loops are sandwiched between both seams. Continue sewing to the underarm. And down the sleeve seam. Number 5, if using piping, sew the cut edges of the made up piping to the neck and the front edges of the body. The piping will be facing inward. The second section in the instructions is to make the neckband. I'm using my walking foot here because it's velvet, then it's just taking it through the machine really nicely. If you're not using our kit, if you're using this pattern with different fabrics, then you might need to interface your band piece if it's quite a lightweight fabric. I'm not interfacing mine because mine's a nice thick velvet. I did notice when I put the band on that the pattern does say to take the band to the bottom of the robe, but that would be to the raw edge. So I've taken my band 2 centimetres above the raw edge, so I've got 2 centimetres for my hem turn up. With right sides together, sew the centre back neck seams of the band. And press open. With right sides together, fold the hemband in half and stitch across the base. Clip the corners and turn the band out to the right side. Press the band in half lengthwise and sew a stay stitch along the edge of the cut edges. Pin the band to the cut edge of the body, sandwiching the piping in between as you sew. If not using piping, just sew the band to the cut edge of the body, matching the notches. The third section is to put on the hem cuffs. Again, if you're interfacing a lighter fabric, you need to do that. If you're adding piping, you also need to do that, and you do it all the same way that you did the banding on the front. Join the piping to the length of the sleeve circumference and sew the raw edges of the piping to the sleeve opening. Sew the two short ends of the sleeve cuffs. Turn out to the right side and press in half and sew a stay stitch around the two cut edges of the cuff. See diagrams A, B and C. Pin the cuff to the sleeve opening, sandwiching the piping in between. If not using piping, just sew the cuff to the sleeve opening. The fourth section is the pocket section. So here you've got a few choices to make. You can leave the pockets off, you can have the pockets on, you can pipe them, you can put the facing in a contrast colour across the top. It's your choice. It's up to you how you have the finished look of your robe. Section 11, the pockets. Sew piping across the top of the pocket. With right sides together, sew one edge of the pocket top to the pocket, sandwiching the piping in between. Number 13 is to sew a sink stitch, or that's stitch in the ditch, along the piping edge of the pocket. With right sides together, fold the pocket top over and stitch down both sides. Clip the corners and turn out the pocket top to the right sides. And press the remaining 3 pocket sides inward. Pin the pocket to the front body where marked on the pattern and stitch around the 3 outer edges. The 5th section of the pattern is to make the belt. Just remember to leave the turning gap for your belt in the centre back so that you have nice crisp points on the ends. With right sides facing, fold the belt in half lengthways and sew around the outer edges, leaving a small opening at the centre back, and this opening will turn the belt out to the right side. Press the belt and close up the opening with a hand stitch. Number 16 is turn up the hem and stitch. Press and you have completed your robe. I hope that's helped you, and I hope that it's given you a really realistic idea of what the instructions are like in Style Art. You can see, yes, they are small, but they are clear, and they do exactly what you are supposed to do. If you're going to make something like a collar or a coat or something with quite a specific detail on a welt or something, and it's your first time, then maybe not the great start for learning a new technique. But if you're an intermediate sewer, they're perfect, and if you are a beginner sewer, then basic items are phrased just as you would need to do them. If you've made a Style Art pattern, we would love to see what you've paired it with, what fabric you chose and how you got along with it. You can make a free account and share your makes with us using the hashtag Minerva Maker, and you can give a little description and some photographs. It doesn't have to be a professional photograph, just a photo of you wearing the garment and telling us all about your project. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that completes the cycle of this sleepwear set, so you can go back and check out the loungewear pants or the PJ top, and they're all on our playlist on YouTube. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.